ABCD parameters. So here we are saying that to determine let V1 and I1 be the dependent variables and V2 and I2 be the independent variables. So like we did in the previous topic, the similar way we will be writing V1 is equal to function of V2 I2, because we are taking here all ones are dependent, all twos are independent. So ones will be the dependent and twos will be independent. So V1 is a function of V2 and I2, say equation 1. Then I1 is a function of V2 I2, say this is as equation 2. Then the same procedure, the small change in dependent variables is taken as dv1 is equal to dou v1 by dou v2, where I2 is equal to constant is limit with dv2 plus dou v1 by dou I2 with v2 is equal to constant as limit along with di2, say equation 3. This we have written for equation 1. What we are saying, the small change in dependent variable is taken or written as, v can be written small change, the rate of change will be dvi is equal to function of this value we are saying for the value v1. So dou v1 by dou v2 for the limit. When we are taking v2 value, the next value will become the limit I2 is equal to constant with dv2 plus next dou v1 by dou I2. So the first value v2 will become limit with the same value di2, say equation 3. Similarly, let's write for equation 2. So di1, I1 can be taken as di1. di1 is equal to dou I1 by dou V2. As we are writing for I1, we will be writing numerator as I1 only. Dou I1 by dou V2, where V2 is a function. So here limit value will be I2 is equal to constant with function value dV2 plus d dou I1 divided by dou I2. So I1 as usual numerator we independent variable, I2 is dependent with the limit value V2 is equal to constant, because when we are writing for I2 the limit will become the previous one with the same function as di2, say equation 4. Now we got equation 3 and 4. Let's use the same procedure to reduce the equation 3 and 4 in the simplest form. We'll write the notations dv1 as v1, let dv1 is equal to v1, dv2 is equal to v2, di1 is equal to I1, di2 is equal to I2. Now after giving the basic notation, let's go for the partial derivative values. So partial derivative first value we are having dou v1 by dou v2. These value we will be taking as capital A. So in the previous one we were taking H11, H12, Z11, Z12, Y11, Y12. Here we are writing directly separate variables A, B, C, D. Why we are writing separate? Because notation itself A is a different, B is different. So notation itself make a variation. So no need to give a separate notation to get the differentiation. So we are writing first one dou V1 by dou V2 as A. Then dou V1 by dou I2, these value we are writing as B. Then dou I1 by dou V2, this value as C. Then the last one dou I2, sorry, dou I1 by dou I2 will be writing as D. So we got the simplest form. Let us substitute these values in above equation. So we'll get the equation 3 and 4 such as substituting the above values in equation 3 and in equation 4, we get dv1. dv1 we are writing as b1 is equal to these value we are writing as a. dv2 we are writing as v2. Then next we will be having the value dou v1 by dou I2, that will be taking as D, and di2 will be taking as I2. For this case we will be taking the sign convention value as minus. So let us say this value as equation 5. Then next for this value I1 is equal to CV2 minus di2. So this is equation 6 value. So after taking equation 5 and 6, we are saying that the negative sign is taken since I2 is outward direction. Because when we are saying that dependent variable I2 is going independent, I1 is in the dependent and I2 is dependent. So this will be inward outward, like that sign convention will go. So when the sign convention is taking negative, that's the reason we are going with the minus value here. So we can write this as negative sign is taken as since I2 is outward. So when it is going out, minus in, plus we will be taking. So let's write this equation in the simplest form of matrix as V1 I1 V1 I1 is equal to A, B, C, D. Therefore, the values we will be writing V2 and minus I2. So here minus we are taking directly this side. So this is our case. Now based on that we will go for finding the case 1, case 2, case 3 and case 4. So let's see how it will work out. Case 1. So what will be the case 1 for us now? Case 1 will say let I2 is equal to 0, then we can write V1 equal to A V2 from equation 4. 4 only, no, 5. Equation 5 we can say that. Then from this we can say that A is equal to V1 by V2. Therefore, A is called reverse voltage. So whenever V1 by V2 we are getting, we will be calling it as a reverse voltage ratio when output is open circuited. Next, case 2. So if we go for case 2, we will be having a condition let V2 is equal to 0. Then from equation 5, we can write I1 equal to minus d I2. Therefore, d equal to minus I1 by I2. So we can say that D is called reverse current ratio when output is short circuited. So this is our case 2. Now let's go ahead with case 3. Case 3. For case 3, let's take I2 is equal to 0. Then from equation 6, we can write this as I1 is equal to CV2. Therefore, C is equal to I1 by V2. So we can say therefore C is called as reverse admittance. Reverse admittance when output is open circuit. Now let's see the last case, case 4. Case 4. So here we are saying let V2 is equal to 0. From equation 6, we get V1 is equal to minus BI2. So for it is mandatory for you people to have equation 5 and 6 with you when you are solving, so that easily you will be follow. So from this equation we can write that B is equal to minus V1 by I2, or we can write minus B is equal to V1 by I2. So therefore we can say that B is called forward impedance.